Monkey D. Dragon is not Luffy's real father. Here's my full theory video on this. Now sit back, relax, and listen to this crazy theory. First, let's look at the premise behind this theory. It's commonly accepted that Monkey D. Dragon, the leader of the Revolutionary Army, is Luffy's biological father. However, there are multiple hints throughout the series, especially in the Whole Cake Island arc, that suggest this might not be the full truth. Now, I got the idea for this whole theory from what Luffy said during the Whole Cake arc. During the Whole Cake Island arc, Luffy makes an offhand but revealing comment when he learns more about his father. "I don't look anything like him." This seems like a comedic moment, but in Oda's writing style, jokes often hide serious truths. Luffy is visibly shocked when Dragon is described to him, and it's clear that he has no real connection or memory of Dragon at all. This could be chalked up to Dragon's absence, but what if it's because they're not actually related by blood? Let's now look at 5 suspicious signs and gaps in the story. Dragon has never shown any real paternal care for Luffy aside from choosing to save him at Loketown. Even then, he never reveals himself or attempts to meet him later. Garp raises Luffy and deliberately avoids mentioning Dragon until after Luffy becomes a major figure. Why so secretive? No visual or personality resemblance. While that's not uncommon in families, it stands out when comparing Luffy to Garp, whom he resembles strongly, and Dragon, whom he doesn't resemble at all. The absence of Luffy's mother is suspicious. If Dragon were the father, we'd at least expect a comment or two about the mother from him. The D mystery connects Luffy to a larger bloodline. What if his connection to the D clan comes from his mother, not Dragon? Before looking at who his father could be, here's my theory with the theory. Dragon adopted Luffy or covered up his true lineage. It's possible that Dragon is only Luffy's legal guardian or someone who took responsibility for Luffy to protect the child's true heritage. Given the dangers of having a child from a royal, celestial, or forbidden bloodline, Dragon might have taken in Luffy and left him with Garp to hide his identity.
Now on to who could candidates for Luffy's real father be? Yes, the part we have all been waiting for. Here are 3 strong possibilities for who Luffy's true father could be. Candidate 1. Rox D. Xebec. Luffy could be his biological grandson. Wild theory, but consider. Rox D. Xebec is a massively important, erased figure in One Piece history. Garp and Roger fought to take him down at God Valley. If Luffy is his direct descendant, it would explain his immense charisma, his king-of-the-world dreams, why Imu takes such personal interest in him. Dragon, knowing the bloodline, hid Luffy's parentage to avoid the world government exterminating the child of Rox. Perhaps Dragon was a revolutionary raised in the aftermath of God Valley and felt compelled to protect the boy. Number 2. A member of the Celestial Dragons / Imu's line. Another theory from fan circles suggests Luffy might be the child of Imu or someone from the Holy Land, making him the biological heir to the empty throne. His rebellious nature, D initial, and the will of D make him the natural antithesis to Imu. But what if it's also familial? This theory would flip the story. Luffy isn't just a pirate. He's the rightful ruler of the world, born to take the world back from tyranny. In this theory, Dragon, as a revolutionary, rescued Luffy from Mary Joa, perhaps from a lab, a breeding program, or a royal bloodline cover-up. Number 3. A Lunarian or Ancient Kingdom survivor. Luffy's endurance, fire resistance, and strange powers have sometimes been compared to Lunarians, the now extinct tribe capable of surviving in extreme conditions. What if Luffy's father was a Lunarian, or a survivor of the Ancient Kingdom? That would make Luffy a true inheritor of the Ancient Will, a symbolic embodiment of Joy Boy and the dawn of the new era. His rubber powers being altered by the Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika, may also tie into this origin. Dragon might have seen the danger of such a heritage and entrusted the child to Garp, while he fought the world government from the shadows. If any of this is true, what could the implications of this theory be? Luffy's destiny is far more complex than being a pirate king. He might be the heir of Rox maybe, the last prince of the Ancient Kingdom, a direct challenge to the Celestial Dragon's bloodlines. Dragon becomes not a father, but a protector and guardian, much like Rayleigh was for Roger's son, Ace. The world government's fear of Luffy becomes much clearer, not just because he's strong, but because he represents a bloodline that must not return.
My final thought behind this theory: Luffy being a dragon's son has always seemed slightly disconnected from the emotional weight of the story. What if that's intentional? Because it's a red herring. One Piece has always dealt with found family, hidden bloodlines, and forgotten history. This theory opens the door to Luffy's true heritage, giving him not just the spirit of Joy Boy, but also the bloodline that the world fears most. Thanks so much for listening this long. Please like and follow for more.